Las Vegas was once a miracle carved out of dust, neon, and pure audacity. It wasn't supposed to exist. A glittering paradise rising from the desert where logic didn't apply. You could stroll in with a pocket full of change and somehow feel like a king. $5 buffets overflowing with crab legs, slot machines that laughed with you even when you lost, and maybe if you were bold enough you'd wake up with a stranger's last name after being married by a drunk Elvis at 3 in the morning. It didn't make sense, and that's exactly why it worked. But look closer today. Past the LED screens, beyond the shimmering fountains, under the flood of advertisements promising the time of your life, and you'll sense something's off. The lights still blaze, the streets still hum, but the magic? It's gone. The Vegas that once sold dreams cheap now sells illusions at a premium. People still come, of course. They always will. The Strip is crowded, the shows sell out, the casinos buzz with flashing lights. But talk to the visitors as they leave, and you'll notice something different. No wild stories. No glitter in their eyes. Just silence, confusion, even regret. This video isn't about one overpriced cocktail or one rigged slot machine. It's about something bigger. It's about a systematic transformation, decades in the making, that turned Vegas from a playground of wonder into a finely tuned machine designed to strip more than just your money. It strips your excitement, your trust, your sense of escape. Once upon a time, Las Vegas was the city that made anyone feel like somebody. Today, it feels like a trap wearing a sequined disguise. The battlefield isn't in the casino anymore, it's your wallet. And the worst part? You're already losing before you even check in. So, what happened to Las Vegas? How did the miracle in the desert turn into a golden cage? In this story, we're going to pull back the curtain. We'll expose the hidden fees, the vanishing cheap eats, the casinos that don't gamble anymore, and the soul of the city that quietly disappeared. Vegas didn't die in the dark. It died because it forgot how to shine. Welcome to modern Las Vegas. A place that looks like a dream, but feels like a trap. There was a time when Las Vegas wasn't just a city, it was an escape hatch from reality. Back then, you didn't need to be rich, powerful, or part of any elite club. Vegas invited everyone in, no questions asked. A crisp $20 bill could fuel an entire day. Cheap food that tasted like a feast, bottomless cocktails delivered with a smile, and slot machines that carried the promise, no matter how small, that tonight could be your night. The streets pulsed with energy, not just from neon lights but from the people themselves. College kids on road trips, truckers stopping for a night off the highway, retirees clutching nickels with the same hope as a high roller at the craps table. Vegas was a place where luxury flirted with affordability. You didn't need a black card to feel like royalty, you just needed the courage to walk through the doors. Buffets were legendary, more than just meals. For under $10, you could pile your plate with crab legs, prime rib, and desserts that stretched farther than your appetite. Servers joked with you. Dealers winked when the dice rolled in your favor, and bartenders poured strong drinks without checking how much you had left in your wallet. Hospitality wasn't a slogan. It was the soul of the city. Perhaps nothing captured this better than the hidden gems sprinkled along the Strip. Ocean One Bar and Grill became folklore, the kind of place where you could sit down for a full meal at $4.99 and still walk away with change in your pocket. $3 cocktails weren't watered down. They were strong enough to make strangers laugh like old friends. Locals cherished it. Tourists whispered about it, and it symbolized what Vegas was truly about. Joy, without a price tag that broke you. Vegas wasn't designed to remind you of real life. Quite the opposite. It was built to make you forget. Forget the bills, forget the 9-to-5 grind, forget the weight of the world. The bright lights, the cheap thrills, the unexpected wins, they all worked together like a carefully tuned orchestra, playing a song of possibility. It was messy, unpredictable, even chaotic, but that's what made it magical. People didn't come to Vegas for perfection. They came for the chance that, just maybe, something extraordinary could happen in the middle of an ordinary life. It was a city that promised not wealth, but wonder. And for decades, it delivered. Today, when we look back at old Vegas, it almost feels like a dream itself. A place where anyone could feel larger than life, if only for a weekend. A place where money stretched further, laughter was louder, and memories lasted longer. That was the miracle of Vegas. It made the impossible feel possible for everyone. The cheap dream didn't collapse overnight. It eroded slowly, one menu change at a time, one hidden fee at a time, Until one day visitors looked around and realized the Vegas that once welcomed the average traveler was gone. Ocean One's closure in 2024 symbolized this shift better than any billboard could. For years, it had been a legend where you could still sit down, order a meal for under $5, and toast with a $3 cocktail. It wasn't just about the food, it was about what it represented, that ordinary people still had a seat at the Vegas table. But when rents skyrocketed and costs ballooned, Ocean One couldn't breathe under the weight. And so, it closed its doors. Not because people stopped coming, but because the city itself had outgrown its own miracle. In its place, polished food halls, glowing with neon signs and Instagrammable plates, vegan burgers stacked with microgreens served on slabs of slate, $40 brunches that look better in photos than they taste in your mouth. Meals that once cost a few crumpled bills now run $30 to $50 before tax, tip, and the inevitable upcharges. Add a soda for $6, fries for $8, and suddenly a casual lunch for 2 spirals into a $70 bill, and somehow, you leave still hungry. The irony is not that the food is bad, it's that it's forgettable. Manufactured taste wrapped in golden packaging, nothing sticks with you, no wild stories about stumbling into a midnight buffet, no memories of laughing over an endless plate of crab legs. Just receipts stacked higher than the meals themselves. Vegas once prided itself on generosity. Free drinks while you played, buffets that seemed impossible at the price, a sense that the city wanted you to stay, laugh, linger. But generosity has been replaced by calculation. Each bite, each sip, each small decision now feels engineered to drain, not delight. The cheap dream was more than just affordable meals or discounted cocktails. It was the foundation of Vegas's magic. It told people, you belong here. It made a janitor from Kansas feel just as welcome as a CEO from New York. But as prices climbed and margins became king, that inclusivity was quietly buried beneath marble countertops and inflated menus. Today, the spirit of Old Vegas is buried under LED lights and $20 salads. You can still eat, sure. You can still drink. But you're no longer being fed joy, you're being fed the machine. The cheap dream is gone, and its grave lies somewhere under the glow of receipts that make your wallet ache long after the neon fades. You think you booked a room for $99. The ad said so. The confirmation email confirmed it. But by the time you check out, the bill in your hand tells a different story. $198. Sometimes more. No. You didn't pop champagne. You didn't sneak snacks from the minibar. You didn't ask for a suite. What you paid for was something far less visible. Vegas's army of phantom fees. These aren't mistakes. They're engineered. Hidden in fine print, tucked into contracts, whispered like dirty secrets at checkout. The infamous resort fee is the star of this scam. Up to $50 a night for... what exactly? Wi-Fi that barely works, access to a pool that might be closed, gym privileges you'll never use, and maybe if you're lucky, a complimentary phone call you never asked for. It doesn't matter if the service is available or not. Pool closed? Still charged. Wi-Fi down? Still charged. Haven't stepped out of your room? Still charged. It's like paying for an all-you-can-eat buffet only to find the kitchen out of food. And it doesn't stop there. Want to check in early? That'll be another $40, even if your room has been cleaned and waiting for hours. Need to park your own car? Too bad. Self-parking is a relic. Valet or nothing, $40 per day. Plus a tip, of course. In some hotels, even requesting a metal fork with your takeout has a price tag. $25 for premium utensils. This isn't hospitality. It's hostility with a smile. The brilliance of these fees is their invisibility. They hide at the bottom of the booking page in tiny font, disguised under vague terms like convenience charge or mandatory service enhancement. You don't notice them until it's too late, until you're standing at the front desk, receipt in hand, wondering how your budget trip morphed into a financial ambush. The truth is, Vegas doesn't just want your money. It wants your silence. It wants you to shrug, accept it, and move on. And most people do. They blame inflation. They tell themselves, that's just Vegas. But in reality, it's not an accident. It's a system. A finely tuned machine built not to serve, but to squeeze. Vegas used to dazzle with generosity. Free rooms for loyal players, free cocktails just for sitting at a machine. Now it bleeds you dry with phantom numbers and nickel and dime tricks. You're not a guest anymore. You're a revenue stream. And every skip detail, every overlooked fine print, is another chance for the house to win before you've even placed a bet. In a city built on illusion, maybe this is the cruelest trick of all. You're not paying for more. You're paying for less. And you're doing it with a smile until the bill hits. Casinos used to be about chance. The odds weren't in your favor, but they weren't impossible either. There was always that flicker of, maybe, tonight is my night, maybe the dice will fall just right, maybe the jackpot is just one spin away. That maybe was the heartbeat of Las Vegas, but over the past 2 decades, that heartbeat has been rewired. Today, the odds aren't just stacked against you, they're engineered down to the decimal to make sure you lose. The thrill of possibility has been replaced with the precision of a spreadsheet. Take slot machines, the lifeblood of the Strip. Back in the early 2000s, the average hold rate, the percentage the casino kept from every dollar, was far lower. Fast forward 20 years, and that number has quietly climbed by nearly 25%. In downtown Vegas, it's jumped by closer to 45%. That means, when you put in $100, the machine now keeps more than 10 on average. And here's the kicker. You'll never notice. The lights flash, the bells ring, the screen celebrates. Even when you lose, it isn't gambling anymore. It's psychological warfare. Even table games, once a sanctuary for strategy and human connection, have been quietly rigged. Blackjack used to be a gambler's game, where a $100 bet could win you $150. Now, many casinos have shifted to 6-to-5 payouts. That same 100 now nets you only 120. The win feels the same, but Vegas just stole $30 right in front of you. Roulette has suffered the same fate. Once there were 2 wheels, the European with a single zero and the American with a double zero. Today, some casinos proudly roll out a triple zero wheel, a Frankenstein invention designed to hike the house edge by nearly 50%. To the untrained eye, it looks like the same game. To the player, it's just a quieter betrayal. And then comes the human element, what made Vegas feel alive. Dealers used to be part of the experience. They'd share a laugh, wink when you were on a roll, or nod when you hesitated at a crucial hand. Now, more and more of them are being replaced with screens, automated shufflers, and digital tables. No smiles, no hints, no connection. Just algorithms, cold and indifferent. Vegas doesn't even bother to hide it. Why should it? They've realized something brutal. People will play anyway. So they give less, take more, and still wrap it all in flashing lights and dopamine hits. You think you're gambling, but you're not. You're just a variable in a formula designed to guarantee the house wins every time. Once upon a time, Vegas let you believe in luck. Now, it only lets you believe in the illusion of it. Vegas was never just about the money. What made the city unforgettable wasn't just jackpots or free drinks, it was the people. The bellhop who greeted you like an old friend, the dealer who gave a sly wink when you hit blackjack, the waitress who remembered your drink order after just one round. These human touches made losses sting less and wins feel electric. But in the rush to cut costs and boost profits, Vegas has quietly fired its magic. Literally. Over the last few years, thousands of workers, dealers, waiters, receptionists have been replaced by machines. Where once you'd walk up to a smiling front desk agent, now you're met with a screen and a QR code. Instead of hearing, "Enjoy your stay," you get a digital beep. Instead of chatting with a dealer, you're staring at an automated shuffle machine or a sterile touchscreen telling you, "Place your bets now." Even the buffets, once temples of abundance and human warmth, have turned into conveyor belts of indifference. $100 per person, served with minimal staff who rush between tables, clearing plates like ghosts in a machine. You tip, but who are you thanking? A system? An algorithm? The human spark that once made Vegas feel alive has dimmed, replaced by automation and efficiency. And while the casinos grow colder inside, the streets outside tell an even harsher story. Over the past 3 years, homelessness in Las Vegas has surged by more than 50%. It's no longer hidden. You step out of a luxury hotel lobby and see someone curled up on the pavement under a thin blanket. You head toward a $100 steakhouse while passing a man asking quietly for food. At the valet stand, where SUVs pull up at $400 a night, a woman sleeps on a nearby bench. It doesn't stop at the sidewalks. Inside casinos, in bathrooms, near the slot machines, you notice more and more faces that aren't there to play, but simply because they have nowhere else to go. The fantasy of Vegas cracks when reality walks in. Tourists came here to forget their problems, not to confront the problems of society, but Vegas no longer hides them. And that is the fatal mistake. Vegas was built on illusion, on the idea that the outside world didn't exist. But now, the outside has broken in. The harshness of everyday life has seeped into the dream, and the dream can't survive when it mirrors reality. You can flood a room with LED lights. You can build fountains that dance to music. You can cover every inch of the strip in neon glow. But without soul, without humanity, it's just noise. And nobody comes to Vegas for noise. Vegas isn't dying because it's dark. It's dying because it forgot how to hide the dark. There was a time when Las Vegas belonged to everyone. You didn't need a trust fund, a platinum card, or a private jet. All you needed was a suitcase, a few 20s tucked into your sock, and a willingness to roll the dice. Vegas made the ordinary feel extraordinary. A janitor from Kansas, a college kid on a road trip, a newlywed couple on a budget, they all found the same magic. But today, that magic feels locked behind velvet ropes. The lights still shine, the fountains still dance, the shows still sell out, but the spirit has shifted. Vegas now weighs your wallet before it lets you in. If you're not holding the right credit card, if you're not booked into the right suite, if you're not part of the top 1%, you're no longer part of the story. You're just the audience, paying for a glimpse of someone else's fantasy. For the ultra-wealthy, the red carpet still rolls out. Private entrances, Michelin-starred dining, secret tables, and tailored experiences hide behind closed doors. But for the rest of us, what's left is an overpriced backdrop, good for selfies, bad for memories. Vegas no longer lifts you up, it just drains you, then waves you goodbye. The saddest part? Vegas doesn't even care if you come back. The city used to earn loyalty, used to make you want to return, used to promise a new adventure each visit. Now, it bets on your complacency. It assumes you'll shrug off the resort fees, laugh away the $40 cocktails, and tell yourself, that's just Vegas. And most people do. But maybe, just maybe, we shouldn't, because a dream isn't supposed to feel like a trap. A fantasy isn't supposed to remind you of bills, fees, and fine print. And yet, modern Vegas does exactly that. It's no longer the escape it once promised. It's a machine, efficient, profitable, ruthless, that feeds not on wonder, but on wallets. Vegas didn't lose its magic overnight. We gave it away one hidden fee at a time, one overpriced meal, one lowered expectation, one shrug. We accepted less, paid more, and pretended the lights still meant the same thing. But deep down, we know they don't. The lights of Vegas still shine bright, but brightness alone doesn't equal brilliance. Neon can blind as easily as it dazzles, and what was once a beacon of possibility has become a billboard for greed. So here's the question we're left with. Should we keep mistaking the glow for the magic? Should we keep pretending the illusion is still intact? Or is it time to demand more from a city that once gave us everything for less? Las Vegas will never stop being a spectacle, but maybe the real gamble now isn't at the blackjack table or the roulette wheel. Maybe the real gamble is whether we, the visitors, continue to accept this new version of Vegas or whether we finally walk away, because in the end, the most dangerous dream isn't the one that costs too much. It's the one that forgets who it was meant for. And unless Vegas remembers, the city that once sold miracles will be remembered not for its magic, but for how quietly it let that magic die.